I think the conversation is certainly important because last time they talked, it was more than 4 months ago. We also know that the US and China are negotiating a potential leadership summit in person for November, which means that without this phone call, it will mean that the two countries will basically fly without a leadership consultation for a whole 8 months.
I think the Xi-Biden call went about as well as could be expected. There is clearly a White House-led effort to ensure that the intensifying competition between the United States and China does not veer into a military conflict. And although this latest call, like the four that preceded it, did not result in a significant or meaningful deliverable, there is a lot of value in maintaining these sorts of leader-to-leader exchanges. You know, they provide President Biden and Chinese leader Xi Jinping with an opportunity to exchange frank views about a range of issues, including those that they don't agree on.
I think that it's important for us to show support for Taiwan.
Of course, Taiwan issue is on the top top of the list for at least for the Chinese leader, and he did emphasize and the current sensitivity associated with the Taiwan situation. And I think his comment, the thinly veiled threat that anyone who plays with fire will be burned, that will be the most catchy topic or the catchy portion of the conversations as the American side will be paying attention to.
It probably ate up a little bit of the airtime. I mean, I think should Speaker Pelosi proceed with the trip, it would coincide with the 75th anniversary of the founding of the People's Liberation Army in China. We're likely, I think, to see an increase and a noticeable increase in Chinese airspace incursions in and around Taiwan in the event that she proceeds with her trip. We may even see something called a median line incursion, and that's a breach of the maritime border that exists in the center of the Taiwan Strait. I think what we're starting to see is that regardless of whether Speaker Pelosi ultimately decides to go, the White House is going to continue to reinforce both publicly and privately that the trip's goals are very limited and that this trip does not signify any sort of shift in America's one China policy.